Hi, today I'm gonna show you how we're gonna make guarded finger spring. Guarded finger spring is a palatally situated active component of removable orthodontic appliance. It's used for mesodistal movement of incisor, canines, premolars, and even molars. However, it is mostly used for the distal movement of canines, which are located within the dental arch. In guarded finger spring, we usually start with the coil. Again, this will be the active arm. It is away from the palate. This will be the guard. It is closer to the palate. The active arm continues to the labial or the buccal aspect of the tooth. So we need to make a bend here just above the contact point of the canine and the lateral. We will mark it. We need to make a kind of trial bend. Okay. For the canines, the active arm has a crank located 2/3 away from the coil, while for the other teeth we have a small curve near the coil. This is the coil, this is the active arm, so 2/3 away from the coil we have the crank. As we mentioned, the active arm begins from the coil and continues to the labial or buccal aspect of the tooth, and it should end with an untraumatic end. And the coil can have a C shape well adapted to the labial surface of the tooth. This is for better engagement of the tooth and to keep tooth movement within the line of the arch. Now we're gonna continue the labial part of the active arm and try to make it well adapted to the labial surface of the canine in our example. adapting it to the labial surface of the tooth. It should end with an non-traumatic coil. We need just to well adapt it. Here we are, well adapted, kind of C shape, well adapted to the labial surface of the tooth. Now we're gonna start with the retentive tag. In the guarded finger spring, the tag begins at about 2 mm away from the coil with a small U-loop, 2 mm width and 2 mm wide and 2 mm long, then extends below the active arm parallel to the line of the arch and 2 mm away from the teeth, and ends with a small L shape at the middle of the tooth adjacent to the extraction site. In our example, we're supposed to move this canine distally, so we suppose we are going to extract the 4, so the L bend or the small L shape will be at the middle of the tooth adjacent to the extraction site. Here in our case it will be at the middle of the 5. The guard prevents the the palatal displacement of the active arm and trauma to the mucosa. The U-loop and the L shape are elevated about 1 mm from the palate to be embedded in the acrylic. As you can see, this is the U-loop, and it extends below the active arm. It should be parallel to these teeth. It should go parallel to the line of the arch and 2 mm away from these teeth. Okay. This tooth is supposed to be extracted, so we will start bending the wire at the middle of the second premolar here. Then give it few millimeter. We bend it just toward the midline. As you can see. Then give it few millimeter and bend it down. And cut the extra piece.